Hello, in this video I will reflect upon my audio project for English 149, which included audio essay and podcast. For both my projects, I decided to choose music and cinema as my topic. Cinema was one of the example topics listed in the assignment page, and it grabbed my attention right away because I was previously intrigued by how certain film scores resonated with me for a long time after watching the film. I always wanted to learn more about music and film, and this was a great way to have research opportunity for me to dive in deeper. As I started the research for my audio essay, I just googled music and cinema. I read a couple of articles from various websites, and a lot of my information and inspiration came from YouTube videos that gave me specific examples of how certain scores affected the visual perception. Through this, I was able to narrow down my topic to how music affects our experience while watching a film. Some of the examples I decided to use were music from Psycho, Jaws, and Saving Private Ryan. To compose the audio essay, I decided to use Audacity to compile all of my resources together, and because of its user-friendly interface, and I was able to learn the basics within less than an hour. In order to record the voiceover, I rented a microphone from the Media Resource Center at Undergraduate Library and recorded it in my room. The microphone had noise cancellation and allowed me to record without sounding dull or having echoes. After I recorded the voiceover, it was time to gather the audio clips. Instead of downloading the YouTube video and converting it into an MP3 file, I just ripped the audio straight from the source. I searched on Google and downloaded an add-on extension for Audacity to rip sounds that were coming out of the system. After submitting my draft, I gathered feedback from my peers and professor and decided to incorporate changes such as doing a better job fading in and out between clips, as well as normalizing the volume of all recordings. Next, I worked on the podcast project. I needed more scholarly research, so I used UNCE Library and Google Scholar to find articles that closely matched the topic of effects of music and cinema. After finding these articles, I created a document with key points and possible questions that I could use in the podcast. For me, one of the most challenging aspects of the podcast project was finding people who are willing to talk about music and film for more than 15 minutes. Thankfully, I was able to reach out to a couple of my friends who had experiences with filmmaking, and they were willing to join me for the podcast. I thought that their personal experiences in creating a film and editing films would contribute greatly to the discussion in the podcast. To record the podcast, I reserved the podcast booth in Undergraduate Library and recorded with my guest. I was nervous at first because I had never tried to lead a conversation for a long time, but as we progressed through the podcast, I became more comfortable having open conversations with them about the topic. After the initial recording, I noticed how there were immense white noises that caused distractions while listening. During the post-production process, I was able to use Audacity's noise reduction feature to remove white noises. I added intro and outro music, placed ripped audio for the audio clips that I played during the podcast, and individually amplified one of my guest's voice because she didn't have her own mic. As I reflect on my audio essay, I would say that its briefness had both pros and cons. For pros, I was able to deliver my message in a concise manner while expressing creative freedom. However, the cons of audio essay were proven to be lack of details in some areas, and the recording itself sounded too formal as if I was reading a book. For podcast, I was able to deliver the message with more conversational tones as I was more comfortable speaking with my guest, and also opened up opportunity to talk about different perspectives in the matter. However, in some cases, not having a strict script allowed more points to lose focus and ramble on. Overall, both projects allowed me to explore skills that I needed in my college years. Through research, audio essay taught me how to effectively grab and keep the focus of the listener while maintaining to deliver the information. With the podcast, I learned the importance of collaboration and how different perspectives can enhance the message. Both projects heightened my awareness in research and collaboration. In the end, not only was I able to gain knowledge on a topic that I was previously interested in, but also became more comfortable with core values such as research and collaboration. Thanks for watching.